Everybody, this is Rydo, and we're doing deck rebuilds for the new expansion, the Boomsday project. At least that's what we're trying to do. Last time we looked at Rogue, let's look at the Shaman ones. New Boomsday cards from the Shaman, including things that we may not have gotten, so we can at least have an idea of what the new cards are. We have Overload, so that will work with an Overload deck. Another Overload card. That'll work. Draw a card, copy it if you played an elemental last turn. That would work with an elemental deck. Add a random elemental to your hand. That makes sense for an elemental deck. Battle Cry, if you have 10 mana crystals, your spells have lifesteal this turn. That's probably not super useful anyways. But whatever. That's an Omega card. They were experimenting there. Your next spell this turn casts twice. Probably not that useful, although if you only had like one Bloodlust in your hand and you played this and then you played Bloodlust, that would actually be rather helpful. Draw a spell from your deck that costs 5 or more. That gets you Bloodlust. It seems like playing Bloodlust is part of the strategy here. After you play the card with Overload, summon a 2/1/1 Sparks with Rush. That'd be a nice card to have. Unfortunately, I don't have it, and I don't know if I should spend 400 dust to craft it. Eureka, summon a copy of a random minion from your hand. For 6 mana, that's probably not worth it, particularly for the Shaman. And then transform your minions into random legendary minions, which this is kind of what the Unguru Journey to the Golden Monkey card did, but it seems like it's a lot easier to accomplish. Either way, I don't have those cards. So what do I have right now for a Shaman? Shaman, where are you? I have a Murloc deck that really has no reason to be touched. The reason I guess I have a Murloc deck under the Shaman is because I have the quest to summon 10 Murlocs and get Megafin. This Murloc deck works pretty well, but it does suffer if you can manage to make the game last long enough. If I win in the first 5 turns, I'll probably always win. There's Bloodlust. If I make it to a 6th turn, there's a decent chance I'm gonna lose. And that's it. Alright, so we'll make a new Shaman deck, a wild deck for the moment. And I do have enough cards on my main account to make the classic deck, every single card. I don't have enough to make the Witchwood deck. I'm missing a pretty considerable amount of cards, including a hero replacement card, and I'm missing a considerable amount of the Stormbringer deck. So yeah, if I wasn't going to use hsreplay.net to build the decks for me and help me, I probably would just be checking the classic recipe and just using that for everything. So Overload is the key phrase to search, and we'll throw that in and throw that in, and then we'll just go to all cards, and whenever you play an Overload, gain 1 attack per locked mana crystal. Play that and unlock your loaded crystal. Okay. Unlock your overloaded mana crystals. Okay. Whenever you overload, gain +1/+1. And take this one. And we'll take that one. Let's see, overload 3 manas. We'll take that. Let's go back now and start thinking about what other cards I want. You could be half Overload, half Elemental here. That seems like that's totally doable. Don't want to draw 2 cards in Overload? No, probably not. Deal some damage, Overloaded. Get a weapon that's Overloaded. Maybe. Take this totem that's Overloaded. Let's see, this one has Wind Fury, but 50% chance to attack the wrong way. Okay, that's at 30 as far as just building an Overload deck. Theoretically, if we look at Shaman cards, there's a couple of ones that I just know off the top of my head are probably better than what I just put in my deck. So, Evolve, not really. Let's see. That, not really. I kind of do want to play my Murloc deck, even though I'm not going to change anything. Just I want a Murloc game to win something. So this Flame Tongue totem is worth having, so I'm gonna throw that out and take those 2 instead, and deal 1 damage to all enemies and summon a random 1-cost minion. Probably not needed. And there's 1 more Bloodlust that I want to throw in here. So I'll get rid of these 2, throw in these 2. And I think that's kind of it. Like, not a lot changes there. Maybe where I just am missing cards in general. Yeah, that is totally possible. Like, for instance, the Shudderwalk. If I had the Shudderwalk, then there would be this amazingly crazy, stupid, cheaty way to win, to repeat all the battle cries that have been played in the game. Hagatha the Witch might also be a very useful card. And it really does feel like that my accounts just always are getting the short end of the stick as far as cards. I get legendaries, sure, but it doesn't feel like I get the right ones. It doesn't feel like I get ones that would be helpful. I imagine that probably is the same feeling that everybody has, though, so I would imagine it is really a case of just Hearthstone being Hearthstone and feeling like not a super fun game to play, particularly in the long amount of time that I've been playing it. Like today, after doing 150 card pack opening video, 150 plus card pack opening video. So what does this actually translate to as far as things you wouldn't be able to play? Lava Shock would be out, and this would be out, and this would be out, and this would be out. So I think missing out on the Tunnel Trog is probably the most unacceptable of the things that would be missing, where everything else would probably be alright. So let's, before we... Yeah, I don't have time to play Murloc. I don't. Like, Murloc is Murloc. I love Murloc because it's quick. Even if I'm gonna lose, it's a quick loss. So let's just move over to the custom Shaman and try that. Like, I just want this over with at this point. I don't feel like I've been doing a great job with this series of deck rebuilds at all. I don't feel like the cards are cooperating with me. I don't feel like I'm awake enough or have put enough thought into it. It might be that 2 or 3 weeks down the road I think of something amazing to do with the new cards, but right now it just all seems like mech things, and the mech things don't even... Like, if I specifically searched mech cards in each character class, I'll do that after this. I'll just see what was really the opportunities and what character classes actually would have benefited from making a mech deck. Because I'm pretty sure only 2 out of the 9 actually would. Maybe all of them have like 1 mech thing.
Job's done.
Let's see.
Shields up. Red alert.
So we could summon 2 of those, or we could do this. And I can do that. And that, and then the chain.
Converting stored energy.
Darn it. Just kill this guy. Who did it merge with, by the way? That one. This is an interesting new way in which it was a Glowtron with the shielded mini bot to make it a 3/5. This looks like a new way in which they're depicting things. And it's even telling you that he got a secret, even though it's not telling you what the secret is, which is fair enough, I suppose. Let's go ahead and play this.
I can see what is to come.
And Sparks. Just have Rush and our elementals. Problem with playing an overload deck is that you're going to run out of cards. And instead of playing strategically and holding back, you're just going to end up wasting a lot of resources. Just protect this guy on top of anything else. I have no idea what you do to make this guy a actual valid target. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm getting lucky here or if I did build a decent strategy of a deck. But this is hardly a new strategy either. It's just a couple of new spells to possibly bring back some old decks that people have been playing for a while. Maybe that's the idea. Like, maybe I'm just not getting it. That the concept has always been they wanted to bring back into fashion some of the older played decks and get some renewed value out of them by adding a few cards. I would say that does not feel fresh and exciting for old players. I don't think it feels fresh and exciting for even mediocrely new players. Of course, if you were a completely new player, it wouldn't matter. Everything would be fresh and exciting. Oops. There's a daily quest I won't have to do tomorrow. Oh well. They did make the daily quests easier. I should point that out, but not amazingly easier. It's still often a daily quest that requires you to get 1, 2, or I don't think you need 3 victories anymore. Maybe that's the highest now, is just get 3 victories of any kind, including playing single player mode. So yes, I did just decide to play the Murloc deck. Let's just show it off. There's no changes here. It's the same old Murloc deck I have been playing for a while now. It works relatively well. It just... there were no new Murlocs that I got. So, no changes made. And honestly, of the 9 character classes, I'm thinking 6, 7 of them really have minimal to no changes have been made to them. Which, if I was going to know that I was barely going to use any of these cards in this expansion, I would have just saved my gold for the next expansion and bought fewer packs. There is, of course, the arena question, and maybe this is the expansion to get back into playing arena. That is certainly dangerous for a person who is never that good at playing Hearthstone like me, but if I'm not gonna find any new enjoyment playing ranked, why not try to play arena, try to get more gold and more packs and more dust. The problem, I think, is I don't get more gold or packs or dust, and it's at least easier for the amount of time you have to put into an arena run to just save the gold and buy packs. You need to win, I believe, 7 times in the arena run to guarantee getting something of value equal to buying a pack. And on average, when I do an arena run, I am definitely not getting 7 wins. Yeah, I'm definitely not getting 17 because you can only get 12, but I'm not getting 7 wins. I usually average 3 wins at best, often 0 wins. And see, the funny thing, I guess, that I could compare this to is Clash Royale, which I play on my phones and don't stream it or anything. It's kind of too boring a game to do that. And I've been playing Clash Royale for a year, maybe 2 at this point. I have nearly every single character up to level 11. So there's like 1 level 11 character I don't have and 2 legendary characters I don't have on Clash Royale. And in that system, I am like king level 13, so I've pretty much gotten to the top levels. I'm not in the esports rankings of like League 1 or League 2, but I'm pretty much as high as is reasonably to be playing the game very casually, just when I have a few seconds or a minute or 2 to do things, and I'm very satisfied with that experience. In comparison, I've been playing Hearthstone for 4 years, and it's just always, at least for the past 3 years, felt like banging my head against the wall. And I've become less and less willing to tolerate that level of experience. So my Mega Fin quest is going to be done. And we can attack here. If I do this next turn, this would be 7, 14, 21 plus 6 is 28. there's enough here for a kill next turn if he doesn't kill something. If he does kill this, then it would be 5, 10, 15 plus this plus 6, which would be 21. It would be 1 short. And he was willing to risk it, I suppose, unless he can play some spell. He's got 7 mana, so he may be doing the math, or he may have just lost. Now Murlocs don't have a tendency to really, that was the wrong one to entomb. They don't have a tendency to have taunt minions or anything like that. Alright, so we can do this and this. 8, 16, 25.
It is finished. You win.
And he didn't even give me the curse, Steve, letting me win the game myself. Alright. And that's working towards the daily quest. Oops. I suppose. So, the thing I wanted to search is just how well does making a mech deck integrate with these characters. We're gonna go into crafting mode so we can see every card that would have been available. Let's see. There's a mech character in Druid, so it doesn't help Druid at all. There's add a random mech to your hand, so that doesn't really synchronize too much with mechs. Give a friendly mech +1/+1 if it has a death rattle trigger. That one does synchronize. This one clearly synchronizes, this one clearly synchronizes, and this one doesn't at all. So, Hunter makes sense to make a mech deck. Paladin has a mech reason, like, sure. Particularly if you had this legendary, it makes sense. Priest. Not really. Pogo Hopper is awful. This one's not too bad, but not really on the road. Warrior. Let's see. It seems like the warrior might have a reason. Let's see. Yeah, particularly if you have this hero replacement character. His big red button ability is, I think, pretty crazy, but I'm never going to get to see it. So, of the 9 character classes, only 3 of them have mechs mentioned at all as any possible new card. Sure, if I looked at all cards, all 9 of the characters would have some mech things, but I'm fairly certain there has been nothing that synergized between mechs at all. There's never been anything that says, like, give a friendly, oh well, there's give a friendly mech +4 health. Very rarely are there cards like that. Most of the other mechs seem to be pretty happy to be around other mechs, but they don't. No spells or anything. Nothing amazing special. So yeah, when you get to the point of making your expansion all about mechs, and mechs feel like the minion class of the neutral parties, people that don't want to use their character class cards at all, that's weird, certainly. Very, very weird. I don't know how you fix that either. I barely even know what I'm saying at the moment. It's so late. It's so late. So let's just wrap this up. That, for better or worse, I'm trying to click that so it goes away. That was the Shaman deck rebuild. We have the Warlock and the Warrior to do last. Yeah, this custom Shaman deck is just an overload deck. And the Pirates deck was a rogue deck anyways. The other one was a Murloc deck. Yeah, so nothing really to say at all. That's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.